All right. Mr. Lightning in the Bottle, Andy Ruiz says, hey man, ain't nothing changed. He's going to convince the haters and show the haters that he's for real. And there's plenty of options for him to fight, including Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, all the top heavyweights. He has the opportunity to fight. And he's going to be back, and he's proved the haters wrong before. He's going to prove the haters wrong again. And to that, I say, not so much. But let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. We're going to talk about Andy Ruiz and what he said about the fact that he can still get a fight with Deontay Wilder and all the other top heavyweights, and he's going to prove these haters wrong. He fired his coach, Manny Robles. Look, man, there's some options for my man, but Deontay Wilder should not be one of them. We're going to talk about that, but first I want to say thank you again to everybody that is subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. Also, thank you to everybody that supports me on the Patreon page. Thank you to everybody that supports over on, that has joined the channel, and everybody that comes through the live streams that we do Monday through Friday, and also Sunday, the feature of this show, OG Boxing Talk of this channel, the YouTube portion of what we do with boxing, and that is OG Boxing Talk on Sundays, 8 a.m. with my partner Blood, the great Blood Boxing Wild Boy. You'll really love the conversations, and the rest of the panel, KQKC, Trap House, Drew Titan, and my man, one of the best boxing historians that there are, my man Curtis Anderson. So let's get into this. All right. First of all, Andy Ruiz caught lightning in a bottle, in my opinion. Caught lightning in a bottle. It was like the perfect storm for him to beat Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was scared to death coming to the United States. Not necessarily scared to death of Andy Ruiz, but I think he was just overwhelmed with the circumstance, and just, that the pressure was really getting to him. And, so I believe that Andy Ruiz's win over Anthony Joshua did have a lot to do with the fact that Anthony Joshua had been rushed. Anthony Joshua probably took Andy Ruiz for granted, thought he could just get out of there, hit him a couple times, and the little fat man was gonna go. And he found himself in there with a guy that was a better fighter than he thought he was. Also, Andy Ruiz was just coming off of a fight, so he was all pretty much never stopped training, and had trained consistently for whatever that training camp was, all the way up into the fight. And as a I guess a second option or a third option replacement for Gerald Big Baby Miller, it was just like the perfect storm for Andy Ruiz. But I thought that Andy Ruiz was going to lose the rematch because, and some of the reasons that I had was, look, man, they're going to want AJ to be champion again. And I just don't see, things that I would say is stuff like, I don't see myself getting that lucky twice. Because I'm telling you, man, the fans of Anthony Joshua and the treatment that they inflicted upon the reputation of Deontay Wilder is just completely and utterly out of sorts. Eddie, those guys were just riding so daggone high, man, so arrogant. It was just making me sick. But Anthony Joshua was a better fighter than Andy Ruiz is, in my opinion. And because not liking his fans doesn't mean that Anthony Joshua can't fight. Anthony Joshua can fight. And he showed that when he won the title back against Andy Ruiz by doing something where he just didn't put himself in any danger, and he walked out with the win. That was an intelligent thing to do, and that's something that I think that Anthony Joshua is. I do believe he's an intelligent fighter. I believe he's a talented fighter. Andy Ruiz is a skilled fighter. I believe that he's a talented fighter, but he is a hopelessly undisciplined fighter. And the reason that you can see that is from when you win the championship and the first thing you do is talk about you're eating a bunch of Snickers bars, that's ha funny, but you're not supposed to really do it. You're supposed to get in there and focus on trying to keep your title by making sure that you're in the absolute best shape that you can be. But he didn't do that. So now he's in a situation where, he's now saying that, he's going to prove the haters wrong again. Well, you're not going to prove the haters wrong with what you do in the ring. You're going to prove haters wrong with what you do outside the ring. Don't be walking around at 300, walking around looking like you 300 pounds. Dude, it's possible for you to get your weight down, but and keep it down. But as far as what's coming next, I do believe that he does have a path to having a bunch of fights. I do believe that. As an ex-world champion and somebody that people think could be dangerous if he would train, he can jump right out there into that whole, rematch, matchroom, rematch, rehash, heavyweight circle irk that they got going on over there. You have like for example, Joseph Parker is in a discussion to fight Marius Watch. He is the guy that just fought Dillian White, right? Dillian White is in negotiations to fight Alexander Povetkin, right? Alexander Povetkin has fought Anthony Joshua. Dillian White has fought Anthony Joshua. Joseph Parker has fought Anthony Joshua. Now Andy Ruiz, who's fought Anthony Joshua, can now fight Joseph Parker. Oh, Andy Ruiz had already fought Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua. So it just makes sense for Andy Ruiz to fight Dillian White, for Andy Ruiz to fight Carl Stakam, for Andy Ruiz to fight all in that little circle of fighters that spend time fighting each other, but yet saying anybody that ain't in their little circle of people fighting each other ain't fighting nobody, like a Luis Ortiz. Because none of those guys want to fight Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is not allowed into their little circle. And since he's not allowed to in their little circle, he must not be anybody, because nobody wants to be around, because he hasn't fought anybody. You get that? None of those guys want to fight him. So he didn't get to fight him, but somebody that fought him fought a nobody because he wouldn't fight them. It's that little circle, that little circle they got going on. Andy Ruiz Andy Ruiz Jr. is well positioned to enter into that situation. So hey man, knock yourself out. Hopefully you get Teddy Atlas to yell and scream at you, and make sure that you're in practice and you do what you're supposed to do, that you do your homework, that you clean up your bedroom, Andy Ruiz cleans up his bedroom before he goes to training, and then he goes straight back home after that, right? And they can hire a nutritionist to feed him all his food and spend a quarter of his money. spend for every $10 that he earns, he's gonna pay $4 to people to babysit him. He can do all that and live over there and be, perfectly happy. But is he gonna fight Luis Ortiz? Luis Ortiz is gonna knock your head off, man. Luis Ortiz is gonna knock your head off. Is he gonna fight Deontay Wilder? I don't even want to see a Deontay Wilder fight with Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz does. If you cannot get in shape for a fight against Anthony Joshua for all that money to keep 3 championship belts, why in the world would I believe that he would do anything different against Deontay Wilder or against Tyson Fury? But I believe Tyson Fury's got some of the same discipline issues that Andy Ruiz has. But the problem is, what Tyson Fury's saving grace is, he has something that Andy Ruiz doesn't have, which is a lot more size and length. Because I can say talent, because size is a talent. That he can keep his head far enough away from somebody to touch it. Okay, and he can talk himself into fights. So, Andy Ruiz. I'm not a hater of Andy Ruiz. I've never been, a tremendous fan of Andy Ruiz. I've always known he was a good fighter, but, to me, he rests right in that same crew of second tier heavyweights. Derek Chisora. He could fight Derek Chisora. Go in there and get in there, go to war with Derek Chisora. Put the money out there. Derek Chisora, go to the UK, fight Derek Chisora. You can fight, he can get a rematch with Joseph Parker. You can get, Dillian White ain't gonna want to fight you. Dillian White ain't gonna fight you. Dillian White ain't gonna do that. You can get Marius Watch. Hey, you can get Alexander Povetkin. All those guys that are fighting each other. But as far as first of all, Anthony Joshua ain't getting back in the ring with you. That ain't happening. Deontay Wilder, stay away from him because, look, man, that dude right there is dead serious about the sport of boxing. He's dead serious about the sport of boxing. When he says he's trying to catch one, he's really trying to catch one. I believe that. When he said it, and I got a video coming up a little bit later today. Actually, I do the videos at 1:15, 3:15, 5:15, and 8:15 Central Standard Time when they come out. But Deontay Wilder really is trying to catch a body, homie. Don't be out there eating ho-hos and tamales and all that giggling, ha ha ha, finally I got the girl type of stuff. And find yourself in a situation where you just legs twitching. You know what I mean? Anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.